his weekly address, Acting Governor Ray Tenorio is calling on lawmakers to work together on the budget.
I hope the legislative leadership and the Democratic majority allow for members of this administration to present the budget with an open mind.
Next week, the Guam legislature will hold its first set of hearings on the proposed fiscal year 2013 budget. The Calva administration is requesting $772.5 million in appropriations. The acting governor says every year the budget hearings become, quote, a spectacle of politics at its worst, end quote. Tenorio is pleading with senators to listen to what the administration has to say instead of yelling at them like they did last year.
We're looking for good faith, and we're looking for people to operate as though they're leaders in this community who want to see the same thing without having to yell at each other to do it.
He says last year a lot of focus was put on the budget because not only was it the administration's first year in office, but addressed paying off all past due tax refunds in one shot. He adds they submitted a realistic budget for a biannual revenue and expenditure plan in order to correct what he calls, quote, 3 years of the bad budget from the legislative Democratic leadership of finance, end quote. He hopes with the administration's track record over the past year, from paying off tax refunds to receiving the highest credit rating in Guam's history, that senators will tune out all the rhetoric and yelling.
But if the estimates are so far off as the last 3 budgets were prior to us taking this office, and you continue to do the same thing you've always done, you're not going to get a different result. So I'm hoping that the people of Guam and the legislature will ultimately change who we have doing the numbers so that we have better figures that we can rely upon.
Committee on Finance Chair Senator Ben Pangilinan has been off island since last month for personal reasons. However, Vice Chair Speaker Judy Wampat says she is prepared to oversee the hearings. In a statement, Wampat says each budget cycle is a challenge, and while the two branches may not agree on issues all the time, lawmakers only have the best interests of its constituents, adding, quote, I'm sure that this body will work hard to negotiate a budget with the executive branch, and I would much rather negotiate a budget that we can agree on and get bipartisan support, for the budget is at the heart of how the people's money is going to be spent. And this is important because this is the hard-earned dollars that our people put into this government that keeps this government afloat. She is most concerned with the governor's $43 million directive in cuts and how that would not only affect the budget, but government employees who may be possibly laid off. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.